Welcome to an intellectual showdown between two of philosophy's great minds. Today we explore one of the most fundamental questions of all. Why is there something rather than nothing? On one side we have Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, the rationalist who argues that the universe must have a sufficient reason for its existence, ultimately pointing to God as a necessary being. On the other side we have David Hume, a sharp skeptic who questions whether the universe even needs an explanation and argues that it may simply exist as a brute fact. Let's begin with you, Leibniz.
Thank you. The question of why there is something rather than nothing is one that must be answered by reason. Everything in the universe consists of contingent beings, things that could have been different or might not have existed at all. To explain their existence, we cannot look to other contingent things, for they too require an explanation. Instead, we must arrive at something that exists necessarily, a being whose existence is not dependent on anything else. This being is God, who provides the ultimate reason for the existence of the universe. Without such a necessary being, we are left with an irrational, unexplained reality, which contradicts the very nature of rational inquiry.
I see your line of reasoning, Mr. Leibniz, but I challenge the very assumption that the universe needs an explanation. You suggest that everything must have a sufficient reason, but this idea is a product of human thought, not necessarily a law of the universe. The universe may simply exist as a brute fact, something that does not require a cause. Just because we, as humans, are conditioned to seek explanations, doesn't mean that the universe owes us one. We may be projecting our need for answers onto reality, when in fact, existence itself could be the starting point. Why assume the universe needs something outside of itself to explain its existence?
To dismiss the need for an explanation is to undermine the very principles that guide both philosophy and science. You claim the universe might exist without a cause, but this flies in the face of reason. Even in the realm of science, we seek to understand the causes behind natural phenomena. The same applies to the universe as a whole. If everything inside the universe is contingent, then there must be something necessary that explains why the universe exists. This necessary being, God, exists by virtue of its own nature, requiring no further explanation. Without God, we're left with an incomplete and irrational view of existence.
Your commitment to the principle of sufficient reason is admirable, but you assume too much, Mr. Leibniz. You argue that everything must have a cause, but modern science, particularly quantum mechanics, shows us that some events happen without clear causes. At the quantum level, randomness is built into the fabric of reality. If causality can break down in certain contexts, why should we assume that everything requires a cause? Perhaps the universe operates in a way that escapes human logic. The universe may just be, and our search for an ultimate reason might be an intellectual habit, rather than a reflection of how reality truly works.
Quantum events may appear to happen without causes, but even they occur within the framework of natural laws. And these laws themselves require an explanation. If the laws of physics are contingent, as you would suggest, they too must be grounded in something necessary. The multiverse theory you might invoke doesn't solve the issue either. It merely adds layers of complexity without addressing the core question. Why does anything exist at all? The multiverse, if it exists, still requires an explanation. We cannot avoid the necessity of a being that exists by its very nature. This being, God, is the foundation of all existence.
You speak of the multiverse, but I'm not suggesting it answers everything. Rather, it opens up possibilities for understanding why something exists without needing to appeal to God. You insist that the universe or multiverse needs a cause, but what if existence is the default state? Perhaps there is no deeper reason, and the laws of physics or the multiverse just are. By pushing for an ultimate explanation, you may be applying human reasoning to a universe that doesn't conform to such demands. Causality and necessity are human constructs, They may not apply beyond the world as we experience it.
Reason, Mr. Hume, remains our most reliable tool for understanding the universe. Even if the multiverse exists, we must still ask why. Why does the multiverse exist rather than nothing at all? To dismiss this question, as you do, is to abandon the pursuit of understanding. The principle of sufficient reason is not a mere human construct. It is the foundation of rational thought. Without an ultimate explanation, we are left with an incomplete picture of reality. The necessary being, God, provides the answer that reason demands.
I respect your adherence to reason, Mr. Leibniz, but I believe we must also respect the limits of human understanding. The universe may not offer us the explanations we seek. Just because we can ask the question, why is there something rather than nothing, does not mean the universe must provide an answer. Perhaps accepting uncertainty and the mystery of existence is a more reasonable approach than insisting on a divine cause. We may have to live with the fact that some things just are, and that the search for a necessary being may be a reflection of our own need for closure, rather than a reflection of reality.
And there you have it, two profound and contrasting views on the most fundamental question of existence. Leibniz stands by the notion that reason compels us to find a necessary being, God, to explain the universe, while Hume challenges the assumption that the universe requires an explanation at all, suggesting that perhaps the mystery of existence is something we must learn to accept. If this debate has sparked your curiosity, like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful discussions on life's deepest questions. Tell us where you stand. Is the universe in need of a divine explanation, or does existence simply exist? Thanks for watching.